Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Overkill Reviews Tag Team Edition. Well, it's my first one. I'm Dylan Gowan.
And hey, I'm his after photo. Stay in school, kids. Yes, it's two reviewers together again, because this week, a record that's too big to fail? I don't know about that. A new record came out that's very large. It's, yes, Disturbed put an album out, and we kind of have to talk about it because it's very big. You can't just assign a Disturbed album to one person. It needs two people to lift that. Someone will get hurt.
And, you know, also, I like Disturbed, so are you ready?
Are you ready? Get up, get up. 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 Get up, get up.
I will not be getting up, but I will be doing the job I am contractually obliged to do. Yes, that's right. It's the 7th studio album from Disturbed, called Evolution, out today on Warner Brothers Records. And, oh good, the album cover looks like a bootleg copy of Pro Tools I bought at the corner store across the street from my house.
So in case you don't know who Disturbed are, they formed in Chicago in 1994. Disturbed to me is kind of like, it's a gateway band to, like, you know, with them and Slipknot and even Korn. I know a lot of guys roll their eyes to it, but with, like me, a lot of people got into the style of music by listening to these bands. I still have that same nostalgia feeling when I listen to Believe or 10,000 Fists. And of course, with their song Down with the Sickness still being played on the radio today, they're kind of, you know, as their master of puppets kind of a thing. A bit of a hiatus from 2011 to 2015. They put out Immortalized, and of course, they had a new wave of fans with The Sound of Silence, that cover that they did of Simon and Garfunkel. And it just shows that Draymond's vocal performance is just at its peak right now. He doesn't have the piercings anymore. So, and it's weird. It kind of makes him look like Phil Collins.
Can you feel it coming in the air tonight?
Which isn't a bad thing. I'm a prog guy. I love Phil Collins. But to me, it just seems a little, I don't know, it's weird.
I was born in '86, and if you're in your 30s, you probably didn't quite miss the new metal wave. I mean, I certainly, followed the leader at a Dragula for a $3 bill, y'all, or whatever. But by the time the 2000s hit, I had met some kids that smoked weed and liked Pantera that I was trying to impress. So by then, Disturbed for me was kind of that band where it sounded like a dude was banging a duck.
So does the album hold up to its title of being Evolution, or is it more regression? So the album starts off with the track that you just heard called Are You Ready? And it's a pretty decent song. You know, it's groovy, it's catchy, maybe a little simple, but sometimes simple is effective, and it's a decent way to kick off the record, that's for sure.
Oh, I already hate this. See, this is the problem I had with the Disturbed kind of era, where what we have is a song that is the exact same from start to finish. There's no real differentiation between the verse and the chorus. And that kind of makes it one of those effective earworms like a pop song, but I mean, that's something I could say about Black Eyed Peas more than I could generally say about a metal band. And also, at this point, I've heard Are You Ready so much, I feel like a girlfriend whose boyfriend gets all of his clothes out of a 2-4 of Bud Light.
So if you're new to the tag team formula, both Blayne and I are going to pick a song, and you know, since I actually like Disturbed and I know their discography, I'm going to go first and pick the song called No More. So again, much like with Are You Ready, it still has a lot of energy to it, and it kind of has more of a shuffle-esque pattern. The only problem that I have really is the lyrics. The lyrics are very much like Humanity is kind of, it's terrible and it's following this kind of linear pattern, and we're all heading towards our doom, so to speak, and we're all afraid of Skynet. We'll no longer be your whore was the end of the chorus line, and I had to kind of, you know, rewind that back and kind of go like, wait a second, okay, not the strongest lyric.
To me, this sounds like they bought it at a Marilyn Manson garage sale. The drum pattern, I know it's a standard nu metal thing, but the reason it comes off as kind of weird and not theirs in this is because they've abandoned most of the other stuff that they did. Whatever you feel about Drummond's vocal style, it's certainly one of the most unique. If someone does it, you immediately know who they're talking about. And here, he kind of abandons it to sing over the track, I think to smooth out some of the rough edges for general mass consumption, and it really kind of causes things to fall flat for me. Exciting announcement. We've got, no, they're not going to believe this if it comes from me. Just read this line.
So hey, exciting day here at Banger. We've actually talked with the label and we'll be premiering an excerpt from the next video right here. Wait, are you serious?
Yeah,
Sick.
I'm 100% serious. Let's do it.
It's awesome.
They stole my heart and took control away. And when I lost the life that everybody wants, well, you'd think they'd help you out, but they don't give a damn. They lift you up, you might feel it, but don't believe it. They'll take your turn, you'll see it, you achieve it. They light that spark, you can't fight it.
It's amazing how well that syncs up though, that video.
So when I first heard this song, I literally laughed out loud to myself alone. And then I immediately went on YouTube because I was like, I wonder if this will sync up perfectly with a YouTube compilation of Grey's Anatomy with me doing no work. And then I pressed play on both of them at the exact same time, and it absolutely works. There's 4 acoustic songs on a 10-song album. So it just sounds like Disturbed is fumbling around in the dark in a room full of Spanish guitars looking for another Sound of Silence. At some point, you gotta wonder, like, yeah, you can sing, dude, but I don't know, fucking pull a Rob Thomas, call up Carlos Santana, wake him up and just put out an album of songs. I don't know, you wanna sing? Sing, but not like this.
Is it wrong for me to actually like one of the ballads though? Because I think A Reason to Fight is actually a good song, and it's like, listen, it's like, it has a good message. Like, if you're dealing with depression, if you have suicidal thoughts, they have lists of all these different companies you can reach out to. Sure, maybe Already Gone is not the best Disturbed song, neither is, you know, Savior Nothing or, you know, Hold On to the Memories. Maybe that's not the strongest of their discography, but look, Blayne, it's fine to like one cheesy acoustic song.
You're right, but then why are there 3 more?
I'm a fan of Disturbed. I really like this band. This is one of the bands that really got me into metal, and you can tell that these guys have worked their asses off to get where they are today. But it just feels like when they did the cover of Sound of Silence, which is phenomenal, I still like that cover. I don't care if it's cheesy. It's awesome. Don't care. But I think what they were trying to do with this album is try to appease a new fan base that came when they had their comeback album. So if you're looking for a Believe to 10,000 Fists era Disturbed, you're not going to find that on this record. I suggest if you're new to Disturbed, please check out either the first 3 albums, The Sickness, Believe, and 10,000 Fists, and then go back to Evolution, and then come up with your own conclusion. There's no denying that Disturbed has been super influential on a new generation of metalheads, so I'm kind of reluctant on this one. This actually might be my lowest rating that I've done on this channel, and reluctantly I'm giving Evolution 2.5 out of 5 skulls.
So there was a round of articles that even I saw leading up to this, which was Disturbed stating that this is their Black Album, which is a bit of a dirty word if you ask some fans. And on top of that, he also said he tries to write every track as though it could be a hit, which to me isn't how you write an album, and explains a lot about why this turned out. That's how you get a Taylor Swift CD. It's very jarring to go from a hard song to a acoustic ballad without any sort of tape, not even a taper off from the previous track, because if you had a taper off from the previous track, it no longer works as a single. So it all kind of sounds like you're maybe saying this is your Black Album or your last album, or this is an important album because you kind of want a nice retirement fund. You know, I gave Machine Head 1 out of 5 skulls, but there's always a new basement, I guess, so this is getting half a skull that is still going hard with the piercing. Man, come on. If you're going to do a bit, commit to it. And hey, it's shout-outs, but the shout-out doesn't always have to be a record. I'm doing a quick shout-out to Brutal Beer Fest, Brutal Beer Fest 3, which happens tomorrow in Pittsburgh. If you're around, it's a great fest, and I'll be hosting it, so come on by. So despite all the joking I do, I don't have a problem with gateway bands. I like gateway bands. Not everything has to be complicated. Some things get people into this scene, and that's good. I just hate corporate music, and that's what this sounded like. But you're in luck. If you're in the Disturbed camp and you're disappointed or you're mad at us, we want you. Come on over. Come on over. We've got 2 albums that we think could maybe push you through that gateway that Disturbed opened for you. So, give me your band.
Well, I got Nothing More's second album, which is self-titled, which came out in 2014 on 11/7 Records. And if you're into the kind of, I guess, new metal, alternative metal thing that Disturbed does, these guys kind of add a little bit of a prog element to it. So definitely check it out. That band is awesome.
Now, if you want something that checks most of the boxes that Disturbed's check, you got a bit of industrial going on, it's a little bit depressing, and the guy's got some pipes, I would suggest anything by Catatonia, but some of their earlier stuff can be a little kind of more extreme. So we'll say Fall of Hearts, because it came out most recently. It's on Peaceville Records. They're a great band. They got a bunch of cool stuff. Oh yeah, and some records came out. Well, we've got Soulfly Ritual on Nuclear Blast that I have to mention, otherwise Sam will fire me. I will be fired by Sam if I do not mention Soulfly.
The record I really wish I could have reviewed this week is Outre-Tombe. They're Canada's fantastic death metal outfit, and they've finally put out a second record. Necrovortex is out now on Temple of Mystery Records. Absolutely buy it. Buy it, buy it, buy it.
We've also got a band I really love. I just saw them. They put on a great show. The new album sounds great. Castle is putting out Deal Thy Fate on Ripple. They're a really cool band, really unique, kind of heavy metal meets doom stuff. I love it. Check it out.
So for my pick of the week, I'm choosing Polyphia with the new album, New Levels, New Devils, which came out on Equal Vision / Headphone Music. It's great, instrumental, progressive metal. You're really gonna dig it.
That's been another Overkill Reviews. Hey Dylan, thanks for legitimizing my operation by actually having something interesting to say. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming out. I hope you didn't get too upset by the jokes I made about Disturbed. It's all fun and games. We review all kinds of metal here. Sometimes it's goofy, sometimes it's serious. We try and do everything, try and keep you entertained. So maybe stick around, hit subscribe, and you know, this is all possible thanks to a bunch of great people whose names are about to pop up. Pop up.